Tune into Sports 360 with Ahmed Hamad.
On the fifth and final day of the only cricket test match between Ireland and Zimbabwe at Bulawayo, Ireland beat Zimbabwe by 63 runs. Earlier, Zimbabwe resumed their second inning at the overnight score of 183 for the loss of 7 wickets, with Wessly Madhevere batting on 61 along with Newman Nyamhuri who was not out on 5 but were bowled out for 228. Wessly Madhevere, the lone warrior, scored 84 runs. From 183 for 7, Zimbabwe lost their first wicket of day's play at 189. Yes, 6 runs later, they lost Newman Nyamhuri in the 74th over. He made 8 runs of 34 balls and he was bowled by McBrine. And the 9th wicket fell at 218. Wessly Madhevere in the 84th over was out after scoring 84 of 195 balls, hitting 8 fours, and he was bowled by Humphreys, his 5th wicket. And then the 10th and final wicket at 228. Richard Ngarava was the 10th man to go in the 87th over, scoring 14 from 39 balls with help of 1-4, and he was bowled by McBrine. In the end, Blessing Muzarabani remained unbeaten on 1, and Zimbabwe were bowled out for 228, chasing a target of 292, thus losing the match by 63 runs. Looking at the Ireland's bowling, Mark Adair, 19 overs, 3 made in 47 runs and 1 wicket. Barry McCarthy, 8 overs, 22 runs and 2 wicket. Matthew Humphreys, 28 overs, 7 made in 57 runs and 6 wicket. 6 for 57, his best bowling in Test cricket. Andy McBrine, 23 overs, 3 made in 23.3 overs, 4 made in 69 runs and 1 wicket. Craig Young, 7 overs, 20 runs, no wicket. And Curtis Campher also bowled 1 over and gave away 3 runs. So the summary of the match: Ireland, after being put into bat first, scored 260 in their first inning. In reply, Zimbabwe scored 267, taking a lead of 7 runs and conceding 7 runs lead. Ireland in their second inning scored 298, set Zimbabwe a target of 292, and chasing 292, Zimbabwe were bowled out for 228, losing the match by 63 runs. Andy McBrine, who scored 90 not out in the first inning and took 3 for 59 in the first and 1 for 69 in the second, was declared man of the match. And Humphreys spins Ireland to a hat-trick of test wins. Ireland need just 18.3 overs on day 5 with threat of rain looming to close out the game. Rain was the biggest threat Ireland faced when they came to the Queen's Sports Club on day 5. But in 18.3 overs, they wrapped up the one-off test against Zimbabwe with a 63-run win. They needed to create 7 chances for the last 3 wickets, and in the process completed the first hat-trick of test wins in their 10-match history. It is the earliest point any team has earned a hat-trick of test wins, battering South Africa, who needed 14 matches. Matthew Humphreys converted his overnight 4-4 into a career-best 6 for 57, with Andy McBrine, his spin bowling partner, closing out the game by knocking over Richard Ngarava with the new ball. Wessly Madhevere, Zimbabwe's last ray of hope, battled through 195 balls for his 84 when his outside edge was beaten and stumps rattled by a quicker length ball from Humphreys. He could not drag himself out of the field, covering his face with his bat in despondence as the game was effectively done. The day started 30 minutes earlier than scheduled, with 37 overs lost on day 4. Humphreys, who had bowled 18 overs to stumps, was handed the ball. He needed 3 overs to create a chance when he got Madhevere to nearly chip a drive to cover and 1 more ball to trap Newman Nyamhuri plumb in front and complete his 5-wicket haul. McBrine replaced Mark Adair right after and created 2 chances in his second over, both of which went down. Lockett Tucker dropped one that went low off Richard Ngarava's edge, while McBrine failed to hold on to low skimmer the next ball. In the next over, Paul Stirling shuffled to the right at the first slip when Madhevere reverse sweep went aerial but could not get within reach. Ireland took the new ball in the 81st over and McBrine found extra bounce with it right away. The sun broke out, but Zimbabwe's hope flickered off in the 84th when Humphreys got Madhevere his sixth scalp. Blessing Muzarabani had put on 67 for the last wicket in the first inning with Trevor Gwandu, but to put on 74 with Richard Ngarava was too much of an ask. Ngarava hung around for 39 balls and took a couple of swings. He was beaten in the 86th over and knocked over in the next. McBrine flighted a full ball on middle stump, beat the slog sweep and set the smile free in Ireland's camp. When asked about the hat-trick of wins at the presentation, Ireland captain Andy McBrine said, "Just waiting for DVD to come out. We are desperate to play. We don't know. We are desperate to play. We don't know when our next test match is." As per the future tour program, they are scheduled to play Afghanistan at home in July. So batting first in the first inning, Ireland scored 260 thanks to Andy McBrine who scored 90 and Markadale who scored 78 runs. These were the two significant performances in the first inning for Ireland. But from Zimbabwe's bowling point of view, Blessing Muzarabani 7 for 58 stand out, and his new ball partner Richard Ngarava also contributed with 2 for 65 and Trevor Gwandu 1 for 53. After bowling out Ireland to 260, Zimbabwe in this first inning scored 267, taking just a slim lead of 7 runs, thanks to Nick Welk, who made 90 runs, and Blessing Muzarabani down the order at number 10 scored 47 runs. Rest of the batsmen were disappointing. For Ireland, Barry McCarthy 4 for 75, Andy McBrine 3 for 59, and Markadale 2 for 56. Conceding a lead of 7 runs, Ireland in the second inning scored 298, thanks to a brilliant 66 by the captain Andy Balbirnie and 58 by Lachlan Tucker, and 2 small inning Curtis Camphor 39 and Peter Moore 30 runs. Zimbabwe's second inning bowling was spearheaded by Richard Ngarava, who captured 4 for 55 and Trevor Gwandu 2 for 28, while Blessing Muzarabani, who took 7 wickets in the first inning, only took 1 wicket in the second inning. Jonathan Campbell also took 1 wicket and Wessly Madhevere 2 for 48. Chasing a target of 292, Zimbabwe were bowled out for 228 and Wessly Madhevere with 84 was the top scorer, while Brian Bennett made 45 and Jonathan Campbell, the captain, made 33 runs. Ireland's bowling was brilliant. Matthew Humphreys, his best bowling performance in Test cricket, 6 for 57, and he was very well supported by Barry McCarthy, who took 2 for 22, Mark Adair 1 for 47, and Andy McBrine 1 for 69. So the match ended on the 5th and final day, and Ireland won the match by 63 runs.
Keep on watching Sports 360 with Ahmed Hamad for latest news, views, and interviews of sports personalities from around the world.